All right. Crazy, crazy Mercury. Welcome to Karma on Deck. I'm Karma. This is your Sagittarius reading for the dates of February 2nd, 2021 for this week. I know this one has started out and kicked us in the nuts and came in swinging, so this Mercury has really tossed some things up. Let's take a look and see what this energy looks like for you, my Sagittarius. And this is for you. Mwah. Okay, here we go. Seven of Wands. So here's what's going on with the Seven of Wands. This is a card that indicates that a lot of things are going on for you. I call this my batting cage. I've got the King of Coins directly next to the Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands is speed. These are things that have to do with like getting things done now. And it feels like there's 1,000 pressing things. Okay. It feels like there's more on your list than you have time to do them. We also have the King of Coins here. So the King of Coins has to do with money and leadership. So you're looking at your money. Then I have the Five of Coins, right? Five of Pentacles, where he has this money up here and a maze at the bottom. So what do I do with this money? How am I going to navigate this? What is going to happen next? How's that going to organize? I've got the Three of Cups. Now the Three of Cups has to do with celebration, but it also has to do with keeping your circle small and focusing on family. So friends and family, tight circle only, no time for social activities, etc. If you notice, this is the other card, the Four of Cups in this deck. Now I'm referring for those of you in my tarot class where these tend to mean something, but the three usually means celebration. So Three of Cups is the party and the celebration. But this second tone to this card is the card that means that you're keeping your circle small, right? So the one after this is them actually looking for it and being social. This here is just like making sure you keep your influences, kind of minimize and focusing on that. You have the Queen of Swords, you have the Devil card, Page of Swords, Ten of Cups. Whoo-wee! Look at this, a little anxiety much. So this is anxiety more than stress. So stress would be like, there's too much, I don't know what to do, but anxiety is like carrying that energy over a little bit. You've got the Devil card, which is bad habits. It's influences or people lying or not telling the truth. The Devil card is the thing that holds us back. So maybe you're having this good long look. I wouldn't be surprised if you had the Temperance card in here somewhere, because that's doing with, dealing with self-reflection, but that might be your moon reading. Within these cards, I see that even though things are a little bit stressful, I'm seeing Two of Cups, which is love. Okay, so this is external balance. Look at that. Balance within a loved one or relationship. You also have this, feeling of wanting to work on your foundation, indicated by the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands is like getting halfway there and like laying the foundation and then kind of getting stuck there. We have the Queen of Swords, which is walking away. So some of you are in this mindset of like, okay, it's time for me to walk away from bad habits. So this is the Queen of Swords right next to the Devil card. So the Devil card is substances, bad habits. This could be anything as, we call it benign, but it really does. It's just as bad. Any of these things that eat our time or do not enrich or fortify our mind and our soul can take away from that growth, which is the purpose and the reason we're here, right? So we have the Devil card. So this means lies. It means chemical substances. It means conflict as well. So if you're fighting with someone, or if you're feeling conflict, or if you're feeling as if someone is not telling you the truth, or you're not telling the truth. So this card right here indicates also those bad habits. So this could be drinking too much Netflix, too much computer time, ignoring your physical body and not doing the working out, or the diet that you should. These are the, the restrictions in your life. But we have the Queen of Swords, which is walking away from those things. So if you're feeling it's time to walk away from those things, you might have to do some shifts. We've got the Hierophant, which means life lessons. It means the string. So the Hierophant is our individual that has to do with like, so back in the day, this card has been coming up a lot. It's funny where, Tarot Fellow on Instagram was talking about the Hierophant this week, and it's been coming up for me too, which I love. Back in the day, the Hierophant was the card that talked about like the influence of politicians and the religion and church for our movement. There was rules and protocols and strictures and things that told us how we should do things and what we should do and who decided these things. And so the Hierophant is the individual that tells us, that there are machinations going on with, so for example, I'm trying to think of a good example of the Hierophant. So these would be like religious strictures. So this would be you know, I'm not allowed to drink, I'm not allowed to smoke, I'm not allowed to lie, I'm not allowed to, you know, whatever the rules are, right? And this could also mean like your shoulds, the things you should do. I should probably go to church. I should probably drink less. I should probably whatever, right? So, or I should probably go back to church. So these are our shoulds as well. And this sometimes can indicate higher education, going back to college or school. And it also refers to like if you're wanting to break away from, you know, the rules, or you're starting to notice how belief systems structured how you believe, and you're kind of doing things on autopilot because this is the way they should be, right? We also have the Four of Wands again. So the Four of Wands is your house and home. And I'm also seeing here where you have the Nine of Swords, where you don't feel as if you can speak to what it is you want, and this is feeling like a ghost in your own home, or not feeling as if you have a voice or any effect on things going on around you. A problem that you have, Sagittarius, is the Eight of Coins. You're so busy, so there's a difference between being productive and busy. So you're so busy that you're not feeling as if you're getting anything done, or there's too many things on your plate for you to eat. Either A, have free time, or B, really focus on your, like, so let's say this is your budget and it's kind of out of control and you don't have time to sit down and really look at where you're going with it and what kind of runway you have before you run out. But this is that timing where you're losing track of your time. So time management is coming up for you too. I can say that, you know, these aren't incredibly terrible, but this is a lot of emotional conflict that's going on. You know, you're wanting to walk away from something that's not serving you. You have a high level of anxiety. You know, you really want to protect the foundation and your money. And you just feel like you're grasping at straws as things are coming up for you. And you also feel like you don't have a voice. Underneath all of this, you are finding balance though, Sagittarius. Look at this. You have the Two of Cups and the Ten of Cups, okay? Look for your balance. There's balance for you in presence around you. You're just not asking for support, or you're asking support from the wrong one, the wrong like partner at work, right? The wrong friend for advice. So this is balance. It's there for you, but you're not taking advantage of it, is what I'm seeing. But you're, you know, these two cards both here talk about your foundation. Like ultimately, none of us can really think straight when we're in a twist. So I don't see the Tower card. So it doesn't tell me that things are about to fall apart, although they might. But this is where you're emotionally cautious and aware of the things that you need to get done and the things you need to do. I will say for you too, Sagittarius, the one card I did not refer to or mention is the Page of Swords. This is road rage. This is anger. This is snappy attitude. This is talking back, and having like emotional responses. So remember what the difference is between EQ and responding versus reacting. I feel like Sagittarius is very much reactive and wanting to just like snap. Totally get that. Find your EQ. So EQ has to do with processing your emotions before you respond. Now that's not easy to do when you have a dozen things taking your time and you're losing your patience and nobody's listening. This Mercury retrograde, bro, it's everybody wants to talk, but ain't nobody listening. I had a conversation with someone yesterday. I said something 3 times. Do you want water for wiping something up? And they said, no, thank you. Do you have something for me to wipe up the floor with? And I was like, I said that, right? And it wasn't a big deal, but it was just a really good notice of how this Mercury retrograde is playing out. Everybody has something to say, and they're just saying it without even like, it's so important to say it, yet it's like not purposeful. They feel a need to express, and they don't care if they're being heard or you're responding, engaging or not. And so I'm just noticing a lot of people run their mouth lately. And personally, I've just been not engaging as much as possible because there's no point in trying to communicate when it's all skewy, and I can wait. I absolutely can wait for the perfect moment and opportunity when I'm in my best control. So maybe there's a little EQ there for you, a pearl, where it's, you know, if you're not capable of talking about something, or if you feel your reserves are low, do you first, you know, fill that cup, you know, fill your reserves, make sure you have what you need. And if you're physically exhausted, now is not the time for this conversation. Thank you. Let's talk tomorrow or next week. Jesus, this Mercury needs to die. But then this is practice, right? Mercury teaches us to practice with these things. Sagittarius moon, this is for you. Those of you that are Sagittarius, please continue to watch. For those of you on my other social media platforms, please join me on my YouTube. You can see the cards picture in picture and me, my face, moi. Book your one-on-one, karmaondeck.com. I would really love your support on YouTube. Please join me there and give a little subscribe. So here we go. We have the Seven of Swords right now. It's not sneaky, but it's like, you know, doing things without announcing it, like keeping your moves in silent, like not sharing with other people what's going on. I do see a little bit, I wouldn't call this misery, but you're discontented. You've got these 3 cups in front of you, and these aren't the cups that you want. This isn't what you've been served that you want. You want something else. Like, now, whether this is something from the past or whether this is something you've got your focus on that you can't achieve or is out of your grasp, it's just like right there, right? We see the 6 of Pentacles. This is giving and charity. I see the 10 of Swords, where you feel like you've been betrayed. You feel like you've been somebody's, you know, a lot of times this has been coming up where you feel like a victim to your circumstances, right? Or you feel as if somebody's stabbed you in the back, or somebody betrayed you, or even just like betraying your trust, or a situation to where you're paying consequences that you didn't have any input to, or whether you did and it's just now coming up. I'm seeing the 10 of Swords. You do have the Page of Cups, new relationship and new beginnings. So boom, followed by the Fool card. Look at this, new relationship. Okay, so don't get your head caught up in the fact that those of you that are in a relationship already, this doesn't mean a new relationship is coming and then you're screwed, right? But this does mean new relationship for those of you that are single, or it might mean a renewal in a relationship that you're in. But Page of Cups means new beginnings. And I'm going to suggest that this is new beginnings in general, although I think some of you are like, maybe I should just start over with a whole new fresh slate. But if you don't work on your trauma, if you don't work on your shadow work, then it's still going to show up some way or another, and your triggers just, you know, new relationship and sack in the bag really isn't a great trick. Sometimes it's necessary depending on the situation, but we do have the Fool card right next to it. So we have the Page of Cups and the Fool card, new beginning. Now this is Cups, which is love. So that's why I say new relationship, but let's continue. So we have the Fool, which is crossroads, okay? So crossroads, remember my favorite analogy, which is the Scarecrow from Wizard of Oz. Now the Scarecrow from Wizard of Oz is given this opportunity to go on this grand adventure with this wild cat, Dorothy, who's clueless, and he's part worried about her and part concerned if he can find something at the end of the yellow brick road, right? And so he's like, I don't know, do I want to go on this journey or not? Or do I want to just like stay where I'm at? And that's the moment you're in. You're in this moment of like decision making, and right behind it, boop, you have the Ace of Wands. So you have the Fool card, which is opportunity, crossroads, decision making time, followed by a decision, a new beginning again. Major is an ace. And then we have the King of Swords. So it's going to be up to you to make this decision, because kings are leadership. So you have the King of Swords, and the Knight of Pentacles is your biggest concern. So here's the thing for Sagittarius. You're driven by your heart a lot more than you allow others to believe. You have the Knight of Pentacles, which is starting over financially. You don't want to start over financially in any sector of your life whatsoever. So you have this Knight of Pentacles and that fear that's dealing with that, but yet you might be starting over. We have the Queen of Cups as love. Okay. That's all. I feel like the Queen of Cups and the King of Swords is a match set more so than a Queen of Cups and a King of Cups. But King of Swords is the opposite of the Queen of Cups, right? Divine masculine, divine feminine. So we have the Queen of Cups, the Knight of Wands. Ooh, and the Justice card. So the Justice card is about, like, sometimes it can be legal consequences, legal paperwork, documents, contracts, things like that. That would be my card that would indicate, you know, you have a court case coming up, or something's going to be put on paper. Sometimes it means divorce. Sometimes it means a partnership in a company. Sometimes it means, you know, taxes or legal paperwork or military. But you do have the Justice card, so it doesn't feel crazy because it's not paired by the Tower card, which would tell me it was like a divorce, and I don't see some other things that are next to it because it's not terrible, right? It's not in a terrible reading. You don't have all these crazy, you know, don't have the Death card, which means sudden and rapid change. But what you do have again is this 10 of Wands, which is burden. So Sagittarius is really very concerned about the things that they have to carry. And here's the ultimate thing here. Your goal, you have the Queen of Cups, which is love. You have the Knight of Wands, which is a request. You know, you are really wanting to reconcile some things in your life. And I'm seeing the 10 of Cups, which is perfection. Now, be careful with this card, because this is just like the F word in a sentence. Depending on how you drop it is how it sounds, right? So we have this card right here, which is perfection. It's the 10 of Cups. It's balance. And it's those kinds of things that tell us that there's, you know, the perfect thing that's around us. And you're willing to do what it takes for your family, for your love, for your future, for what's necessary for you, for for the perfect picture and what it is that you want. And I feel like you think you're just like working too hard for those things right now. I will say that I'm very surprised that the Temperance card didn't come up for you. However, things are looking, you know, not so terrible. I don't see that this is like a hard time for you, but I just see that this is what you're thinking about and what's going on for you. Hopefully that will give you a little direction and help you. But not seeing more sudden change for you. So you might be going along at this clip that you're at right now for a little bit longer yet. Any changes that are coming will have to be coming from you because the decisions are up to you. Let's pull a card for you from the Divination of the Ancients and see what your card is. Follow up. Fortuitous. So this is Fortune Cookie. So what does Fortune Cookie say? It says, I can't even read these, but Fortune Cookie means surprises, or it means to trust and look for a little luck. Not exactly like the black cat in this deck, but look for a little luck. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. Hopefully that resonates with you. Please join me on my YouTube, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Love and light, guys. Have a little